Hey, what's going on? It's John Diop, and today we're going to talk about one of the most famous members of TLC. Some would say infamous, but we're going to talk about Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Now, Left Eye was one of the members of TLC who was a rapper, more so than a singer. She could sing, but she was more rapper than singer. Left Eye also tragically passed in 2002 down in Honduras. Now, I don't believe that Left Eye's demise was an accident. I truly do believe that someone set up and made it happen. Now, a lot of us can't prove it, but there are a lot of things surrounding her demise and her end that are just very suspicious. So let's dig into this chart and see what astrology can tell us about the life, the character, as well as even the demise of Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Now, one of the things you notice first is Left Eye is a Gemini sun. So with that being said, Gemini people are typically curious, they communicate a lot, they talk a lot, they can write a lot, they're pretty much creative. And so with that being said, that's in a nutshell what Gemini was, and part of the energy that helped Left Eye to be who she was. But it goes even deeper for Left Eye once you dig into this chart. Another thing about Left Eye that we notice is Moon in Cancer and Jupiter in her 5th house, which makes her extremely maternal. And ladies, once you see Moon in Cancer in your chart, you have high fertility. I've done charts for lots of people, and I have to tell them and say, hey, you do know that you're extremely fertile, right? And the person will go, well, damn, that's why I keep getting pregnant. It's because that's in the chart. So Lisa had one of the most fertile signs that you can have for a person. Left Eye had very high fertility, and I found out that she was getting pregnant. However, those children were not kept. So with that being said, if you have certain signs or certain moon signs, your fertility level will be extremely high, and you will get pregnant very easy if it's in the right place. And it can also make pregnancy difficult. So that's in your chart as well. Now, we get into one of the things about Left Eye that was noticeable from the beginning, and one of the things that led to a lot of people not liking her. Left Eye has Mars in Aquarius, and Mars in Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is all up and through this chart. Now, what does it mean? It means that Left Eye was a rebel. She was set on doing things her own way. She made her own rules. You didn't make the rules for Left Eye. Left Eye made the rules. And so that rebellion, that energy, also caused her to have problems and friction in the group. But this next thing is kind of the kicker when it comes to a lot of the reason why she had a lot of static with her group members, with the label, with people in her life. And that was that Uranus builds a sense of rebellion, but also a sense of individuality. It also builds a sense of shaking up things. It also means that things are not going to be typical. We're not just going to do this the easy way, one way. We're going to do this differently from how we've done it. So Left Eye represented a breaking up of that energy from old times, and it's all through this chart. And so Sun trine Uranus is why Left Eye looked different, and she had different fashion. She had a different way of presenting herself to the world, and that was one of the things that set her apart. Next, we have Mars trine Uranus, and again we have that Uranus energy saying, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to make a different kind of statement when I do things. I'm going to make sure that you remember me, because Aquarius and Uranus energy likes to shock. It likes to do the thing that you said, oh my God, it makes you clutch the pearls. And Left Eye, her life, the way that she lived things, she had people clutching the pearls every single day that she woke up and took a breath. So that also shows her innovative skills as well. I want to highlight that. Left Eye was doing things 20 years before it became popular. Left Eye was drinking the sea moss before it became popular, 20 years before this stuff blew up. Left Eye was buying internet properties and buying names on the internet 10, 20 years before people even thought of this stuff. That Uranus energy also means that you're so progressive. You're so ahead of your time that a lot of people can't keep up with you, and they won't see how it needed to be done. Now think about this. When I did T-Boz's chart, there was all of this Taurus energy. Taurus wants to do it one way. Taurus wants to do it the traditional way. Taurus wants to stick to how we do it all the time. Then we take Left Eye's energy, and now now you can see the friction now. You see why there was a problem, because we got all of this new stuff. We got all of this do it the new way. Find a different way to do it. All of this eccentric energy, and it's all up and through this chart. And that's one of the reasons why Left Eye and T-Boz had so much friction, was because T-Boz represented the old way. She represented sticking to what TLC knew. And Left Eye she represented going and doing it in a new way, in an eccentric way, in a progressive way. And that's one of the reasons why T-Boz had to block her shine. And she felt like she had to control her, because I did the synastry between those two. That relationship just seemed so different and odd to me. And it's because there were two things at odds. T-Boz was trying to maintain control. Left Eye was breaking control. T-Boz was trying to stick to the old. Left Eye, let's do the new. And so those two clashed. And so you can see why there was friction in that relationship, and why there was definitely other issues. But we're going to move on. But there are other things that came up once I did that synastry that are going deeper down in this chart. Now, Left Eye obviously had a very difficult childhood. She has Pluto, Lilith, and Uranus in the 3rd house, which represents your early childhood. With Pluto, there's a shaking up again of that establishment, of that foundation. So that shows the difficulty. It shows abuse. It shows trauma. It shows pain. Now, through that pain comes rebirth. And Left Eye definitely was rebirthed and definitely lived a different life from what she was given. But with Lilith, it shows also there's a lot of darkness. There's also a lot of trauma piled on. And with Uranus, that means there were a lot of changes. Left Eye was moved around. You know, she was born in Philly, moved down to the South. All of these changes, all of these things shaking up that person. Left Eye was an outcast. And she embodied the energy of Uranus. And so she was very much an outcasted person. And so she was probably different from others around her. She felt like she wasn't the same as everyone else. It probably led to her, you know, having episodes with bullies, or even in situations where she probably felt like she had to push back and rebel against people because they were pushing on her. And so with that being said, Left Eye had a very difficult upbringing. But it's also something that gave her these gifts. You know what I mean? Sometimes the universe, even though it gives us pain in one place, it also gives us our gifts. Because Left Eye had a gift for turning that pain with that sun trine Lilith. She had a gift for turning that pain and that agony into something beautiful, into making it part of herself. And that was why her redemption story was so beautiful.